Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. You will love this content. We have so much to cover today. I mean, a lot. So much has happened just this morning that I don't even know where to begin. I got so much stuff going on, and I'll figure it out, right? We're going to be on the air in 30 seconds. We're going to be live on the radio, and I know where I'm going to start, but I just decided like a second ago where I'm going to start because the news is just insanely good. If you'd like to call in, it's a toll-free number no matter where you're watching from, and it's the number that's toll-free is pinned in the live chat. Stand by. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right. Celebrating 48 years on the radio. And we have so much to cover on the program today. News has been breaking even in these early morning hours. We're going to cover so much. And I had an amazing experience just over less than an hour ago. Not even an hour ago. I had an amazing experience happen less than an hour ago, which I'm going to share with you. What President Trump has been doing as of late is beautiful beyond measure. It really, truly is. He has just changed the entire world. Today, it's been 2 weeks since President Trump took the oath of office. I mean, as of now, he's been president for less than 2 weeks because he was sworn in at noon. But the things that he's done are big. And this latest deal that he's made with El Salvador, I'm going to get into in a few minutes because it's so huge. And what Marco Rubio has been doing with President Trump is absolutely amazing. In fact, you know, Marco Rubio should get the Nobel Peace Prize for the work that he's doing. That is not an exaggeration. So we're going to cover all of that. And, of course, the trade wars were over before they began with both Canada and Mexico yesterday surrendering in the trade wars, the tariff wars, to President Trump. So we're going to cover it all and take your calls. But I had an amazing thing happen this morning. Now, those of you that follow me on YouTube, a lot of times before the radio show, I'll do a live stream in the morning, either on my way into work or getting coffee or while I'm still at home. I do live streams on YouTube, and I give kind of talk about some things in a more casual way than I may talk here and cover some things I may not cover here and give people a little sneak peek of what I'm going to open with on the program at 6 and all of that. And I had a very good conversation on YouTube, and I shut down the YouTube video, right? I was done with the video. I ended the video, and I went off to get my coffee. And I'm in the car. I pull out of my development this morning, and there were a couple of cars that I recognized because they're people that go to work early in the morning like I do, and they were right outside my development, pulled over on the side of the road. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought, did they get into a car accident? Did one of them hit a dog? What's going on? And I didn't see anything going on, so I went around and I looked, and Elon Musk had just launched another rocket into space, and it's a very foggy morning. This is really, what I saw was a miracle. It is a very foggy morning. In fact, if you don't have to be on the road right now in South Florida, at least the parts that I drive in, wait a little while. It is really foggy out, and I hate driving in the fog. But even though there was this foggy morning, I'm watching Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket head into outer space, and it was an incredible view. And it looked like, you know, because this was a Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket of Elon Musk's that has satellites in it. but I saw it larger than I would normally see a Falcon 9. The Falcon 9s are smaller than usually in size when you watch the launch than the ones with people in them. But this one was crazy, and I live due south of Cape Kennedy, but I'm very far south, right? But I watch the rocket launches all the time. This rocket, the direction it went up into space is one that they take sometimes, but not often. I wish they took this every time. It didn't just go east over the ocean. It went southeast over the ocean. And by the time it went into outer space, it was practically due east of where I was as I was driving to Starbucks this morning. And I'm watching this beautiful rocket. And, it's a MAGA rocket. That's the president's top man. The first bud launched another rocket into outer space. And yesterday, at the end of the show yesterday, is when the story was breaking that they had shut down U.S. aid. And the Democrats have been in a panic over U.S. aid. Well, in the establishment and the media. And my guess is, U.S. aid, everybody knows the story now, was formed by an executive order from President Kennedy. And it looks like U.S. aid is probably a deep state CIA front organization. And it looks as if U.S. aid is one of the major ways that all the financial corruption of paying off the politicians, donors, and all of that, and people around the world is conducted through U.S. aid. And that's why they're in a panic. And a bunch of Democrats, Jamie Raskin, the most high profile, marched with a bunch of U.S. aid employees to the U.S. aid offices yesterday. I don't know what they were doing. Were they leading an insurrection against U.S. aid? They were trying to bust in Jamie Raskin, other members of Congress, with all these U.S. aid workers that have been locked out of their computers and the offices by President Trump and Elon Musk and Doge. They were, I don't know, were they trying to break in and interrupt the government business going on inside of U.S. aid with this new revelation? That sounds like an insurrection based on the standards that CNN, MSNBC, and the Democrats have laid down since January 6th. But regardless of all that, the reason there was such a panic, and there still is a panic in Washington, is because that's their money, all right? Elon Musk and Doge, through President Trump, cut off all their crooked dealings. And we've been hearing these weird things that they spend money on. Then yesterday, because they're in a panic over Elon Musk, because shutting down U.S. aid is big. There's a lot of big, important, powerful people that aren't getting their money now. And these D.C. insiders, these elected politicians, have made all kinds of promises that they can't deliver on now because U.S. aid's been shut down. And Carolyn Leavitt, the new White House press secretary, was talking with the press yesterday. I want to play this clip because it's such a joke. This is Carolyn Leavitt on the out in front of the. Is this the White? I guess it's the old exec. I'm not sure where she was. I don't recognize the background. She's outside, but she's talking to the press yesterday.
Truth Social, like we do sometimes as well. Caitlin.
Confirm that Elon Musk is a special government employee.
Yes.
What kind of security clearance does he have?
I can confirm he's a special government employee. I can also confirm that he has abided by all applicable federal laws. As for his security clearance, I'm not sure, but I can check back with you.
Did he pass a background check, do you know?
I don't know about the security clearance, but I can check.
And do you know about anyone who's on his team that was at USAID this weekend?
Okay, so and this story actually is starting to get some legs with these idiots in the stupid fake news media. This is a headline in Mediaite. I can check, in quotations, White House spokes, I guess that's what they call it, not sure if Elon Musk passed background check or has security clearance. Elon Musk is NASA now, okay? He has top secret security clearance. He probably has one of the highest security clearances you can have because he launches rockets into space. They don't let guys have the keys to NASA and launch rockets into space that have not passed background checks and have the top security clearances. The people in the press, this Trump derangement syndrome and the panic over the U.S. aid money is rotting their brains. They're not even thinking clearly. If he had not had security clearances and passed background checks Yeah, you can't give a guy, first off, all the rocket technology and information at NASA. That's all top secret, highly classified. But he could make those rockets go anywhere he wants. They don't have to go into space if he was some madman who would not pass security clearances and didn't have top secret clearance. Not only that, many of the people around him also have the highest level of security clearances because of the space program that he now is. He is NASA now. He is America's manned space program. And as I'm watching this rocket launch into space today by Elon Musk here in Florida, which never gets old. I've been watching rocket launches since the shuttle days when I was a little kid here in Florida. It never gets old. I love them. What a stupid question to even ask. But I'll tell you another thing, and this is amazing. Elon Musk, he's on our side. The guy that just launched that rocket into space. And, you know, it's like pretty much every day, sometimes multiple times in a day, Elon Musk is launching rockets into outer space from the state of Florida. It's a beautiful thing. And that is the brilliant mind that is the first bud that's really the top guy advising President Trump, who shut down U.S. aid. So, yes, he has top secret security clearance. He's gone through all the background checks. That's why they let him launch rockets from both coasts, because he launches rockets not just from Florida, but also California. He launches some from Texas, too, doesn't he? So he launches rockets from all different parts of the United States. Yes, he has security clearances, top secret clearance, and he's gone through all the background checks. These people, do they even hear themselves? And he's on our side. All right, we're going to take our first break. When we get back, there's a lot to cover today. There is a lot to discuss on today's program. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. Insane. Just completely insane. That they would even question these things. Really, right? Exactly. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get to this one next. We'll get to the El Salvador deal next. Ugh. I know you guys are as excited as I am. No getting around it. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the radio. If you're on hold, hang in there. And if you want to call in, the number's toll-free, no matter where you're watching. The number is listed and pinned in the live chat. You know what I'm going to play, though, before that? Hold on, let me cue this up. Before I get to the El Salvador deal. Yes, okay. Yeah, there's something else I want to play first. I got to share this first, before the El Salvador deal. These people on the in the Democrat left, they have no in the establishment, they just have no idea. I would imagine whatever the highest security clearances we have are, Elon Musk may have that. If he doesn't have the most secret, he's like 1 or 2 steps below it. You know, because of the access he has to NASA and all our rocket technology, and they let him launch the rockets. Less than a minute, and we'll be back. So stand by. If you're on hold, hang in there. I got to go through a few things before I go to the phones, because so much is happening. Who's that guy in the top left? Is that, I forgot his name. He's like a CNN guy, the guy in the top left, the white guy. I forgot his name. His name's not important. Van Jones is most important. I just cannot remember that guy's name to save my life. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. We've only just begun. We got so much to cover today. If you're on hold, hang in there. I got a few things I got to go over before we go to the phones. But first, I want to talk to those of you that are suffering from neuropathy, or maybe you have a loved one who is suffering from neuropathy. Neuropathy is god-awful. It is living torture. I know, because I've seen it in Steve Kane and others. The symptoms are awful, and I'm going to go through these symptoms, and these are not even all of them, but these are some of the big ones: numbness, pain, burning, tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, dizziness, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet. Some people have no feeling at all in their hands and feet. Some have multiple symptoms at once. Some of them, they rotate all day long. It's awful. And your doctors will tell you there's no treatment for neuropathy. That's your life. Go home and get used to it. You'll learn to live with what's really unbearable. Well, that's not the case. Lighthouse Medical in Pompano, they have a treatment for neuropathy that works. And what we found out through our test case of Steve Kane, not only does their neuropathy treatment work and rid you of your neuropathy symptoms, it lasts. Steve had his treatment over 2.5 years ago, and his neuropathy symptoms have not returned. Give them a call. I'm going to give you the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. That's lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Okay, so I want to share this. Van Jones, you know, you guys know, I don't have to go through the history. You know what they've put Donald Trump through. They've basically been tarring and feathering this guy for the better part of a decade, and he's come back more powerful than ever. And Van Jones was talking to one of his idiot liberal friends who was interviewing him. I cannot remember this guy's name to save my life. He's one of the CNN pundit guys, very arrogant. But his name's not important. Van Jones is. And Van Jones, who's as liberal Democrat as it gets, they're sitting around talking about Trump. And his idiot liberal friend that's interviewing him, he doesn't understand. This was yesterday, by the way. He doesn't understand why Trump's so successful. How is Trump able to do the things that he's doing? Because they have this Trump derangement syndrome. And in Trump derangement syndrome world, they think all these terrible things are true of Trump. And Van Jones sets the guy straight. Listen to this.
How the hell did Donald Trump figure out the mainstream media is the fringe and the fringe is now the mainstream? How the hell did Donald Trump figure out? I mean, Joe Rogan is obvious, right? Like, we knew the guy had a big audience. It's not like we were like stunned, but like, how the hell was he, the 78-year-old guy who doesn't even have a computer and still like writes handwritten notes? How did he become the guy who cracked the code on, to your point, running a cultural, I don't even want to say campaign, running
it was a movement. Look,
heading a cultural movement versus a campaign.
Every one of your people knows Elon. Listen. Yeah, so everybody keeps, the problem is you have a framework in your mind that, how can Donald Trump? Guys, can we cut it out? Donald Trump is not an idiot. Donald Trump, let me just be very clear. Donald Trump is smarter than me, you, and all critics. You know why we know? Because he has the White House, the Senate, the House.
Totally agree.
Support, the popular vote. He has a massive media ecosystem bigger than the mainstream built around him and for him, and a religious fervor in a political movement around him. And his best buddy is the richest person in the history of the world. and the most relevant Kennedy is with him. This dude is a phenomenon. He is the most powerful human on Earth and in our lifetime, and we're still saying, "Well, how was this guy?" We look like idiots to ordinary.
You're totally right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do look like idiots. Donald Trump is a genius. He's a genius, and the left, and we don't want the left to figure all this stuff out, because once they figure it out, they can start to correct it. I mean, look, I'm watching Donald Trump's top guy, who took down USAID yesterday, who has access to the Treasury payment system, who's doing all these things. He's sending rockets into space. That's Elon Musk. Who do the Democrats have? Their new vice chair is David Hogg, and they got AOC, right? Oh, and Jamie Raskin and Ilhan Omar that was at the USAID office yesterday. They don't get it. He is a genius. And Van Jones, you know, the thing about Van Jones, he's a hardcore left-wing socialist. I know he seems a lot more reasonable than he used to, because the Democrats have gone so far over the liberal ledge, but he's a hardcore socialist, liberal Democrat. Remember, he came into the White House with Obama, and he used to be married to Billy Carter's daughter, President Carter's niece, right? So he's even in that, you know, so he's and with Van Jones, as wackadoodle as he is, from time to time, he gives you some very good analysis as to what's going on. And we don't want the Democrats to wake up and understand that Trump's a genius. We want them to sit around and in their sewing circle of Trump derangement syndrome sufferers, you know, basically CNN and MSNBC have become 24-hour-a-day live cable support groups for Trump derangement syndrome sufferers. They can sit around all day and tell themselves that Trump is stupid and all these things, and they don't understand, and they'll keep losing. They're going, you know, which is what we want them to do. We don't want them to win. And the things that President Trump has been doing is spectacular. This is amazing. Marco Rubio, and I must tell you, Marco Rubio will go down in history as one of the greatest United States Secretaries of States in history. You know, what he has been doing in Latin America is amazing. I'll get into more details on this story after the break, but here's the headline, and this is with Marco Rubio's doing with the president. U.S. strikes extraordinary migrant deal with El Salvador to accept deportees from any country, including dangerous criminals. And I'll go through this story after the break in detail, but El Salvador has the worst prisoners of all. I mean, the worst prisons in Latin America, the scariest prisons in all of Latin America. The worst, the scariest, with the worst prison gangs and everything. And they worked out this deal. And I'm going to ask you this as we go into our bottom of the hour break. All this great work that Marco Rubio has already done on this trip to South America, I think he's the first Secretary of State that's gone abroad and done anything for the American people. The other secretaries of state travel the world and cause wars and give them money. Our money. I'm racking my brain, and maybe you can help me and you can call in with this. When have you seen, before Marco Rubio, when have you seen a Secretary of State do a darn thing for the American people? For the American people. I've never seen it before. So we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we get back, I'm going to get into the details of the El Salvador deal, which is probably one of the most important and greatest deals the United States government has made with another nation in our lifetimes. Maybe since the Second World War, maybe even longer. I mean, this is amazing what Marco Rubio and President Trump have done. So we'll take our bottom of the hour break. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2736. 2631. 888-465-2631. After the break, I'll get into the details of that. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back right after this.
Getting into too much detail, but there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is
All right, we'll be back on the radio in a minute. I'm going to go through this great El Salvador deal. If you're new, subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video and sharing on your socials if you don't mind. Those of you that are watching on the live stream with the green background, the audio sound bites and videos you can see and hear on my other stream, not that one, just so you know. So if you hop over there, you'll be able to hear and see them all. About 30 seconds, we'll be live. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Oh, man. Okay, so Marco Rubio has come such a long way. He got the deal with Panama going. They're kicking China out. This El Salvador deal, which I'm going to go through right now, and I watched the interview on Fox News channel. By the way, Fox News is doing much better. Rupert Murdoch was in the Oval Office with the president yesterday. If you saw that when he was signing executive orders and did a little bit of a press conference, Rupert Murdoch was sitting right next to the president, sucking up. So that's good. Fox News is, okay for now if they're doing it. But Marco Rubio has come such a long way. And when I saw Marco Rubio interviewed on Fox News last night and looking at what he's done in the last couple of days on this South American trip, I tweeted, something. I don't tweet like this too often. Most what I post on X is news stories and stuff. But I tagged Marco Rubio, and because he knows me, I've interviewed him, had him on the show and stuff. And I said, Marco Rubio is looking pretty presidential, isn't he? Now, it's been a long time since the Secretary of State became president. I didn't bother to look when the last time was. It might have been the 1800s for all I know, but he is looking mighty presidential right now. And he's come such a long way because he had a rough start. Remember when he first became a United States Senator, he had that response to the Obama State of the Union with the water, and then the 2015 primary, and now look at him. He's all grown up and has come a long way. And I'm so excited that he's a local. He's a Floridian, and that's a great thing. He could very well be the second Florida president. President Trump is the first Floridian president because he's a Florida resident, but Marco Rubio is the second Florida president material, no doubt about that. I would vote for him anytime. I voted for him in the Senate. I'll vote for him for president. I mean, he's just doing such a great job. Now, this El Salvador deal that Marco Rubio and Trump brokered, let me go through this. This is in the Daily Mail. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says El Salvador's president, remember, they got the worst, scariest prisons in all of Latin America, says El Salvador's president has offered to accept deportees from the United States of all nationalities. That means, if they're African, Asian, no matter where, as well as violent criminals now imprisoned in the United States. The breakthrough from Rubio came as President Trump secured border protection agreements from both Canada and Mexico following a whirlwind day that began with a cratering stock market and the threat of a trade war. I'll stop there before we go on. The trade war with the United States, Canada, and Mexico has been won by Donald Trump. Both Canada and Mexico surrendered. And yesterday morning, when I got off the air, I have the news on, and I'm watching the cable news, and the stock market was down in the morning. It was down. They were so excited. They were like rooting for it to go down. Oh, it's going down. Oh, the trade war. And then I went out to Publix to get a Publix sub for lunch. And Publix subs are pretty good, aren't they? They really certainly are. And so I don't remember the exact time, but it was around 11:30 in the morning or so. 11:30, somewhere around there. and I get a notification on my phone. President Trump posted on Truth Social that Mexico surrendered and totally caved and gave President Trump everything he wanted and more. They arrested a big cartel guy yesterday. But the trade war with Mexico over. The Mexican president called him and made all the deals. She's sending 10,000 Mexican soldiers to their northern border, our southern border, to stop illegals and the drugs. They captured a big cartel boss yesterday. And I read this morning, I'll pull the story up later, maybe we'll go through it, but I read this morning, I just had a chance to skim the headline. I didn't get to read deep into it. But U.S. military aircraft are now flying, their Air Force fighter jets flying over Mexico. And obviously, they're getting ready to make a move against the cartels. And think about when that happened. So I got the notification on my phone like around about 11:30-ish yesterday. The deal had already been done by the time President Trump posted it on Truth Social. And Mexico City, I'm not sure, is Mexico City on Mountain Time or Central Time? I'm pretty sure they're on Mountain Time in Mexico City. But either one, it doesn't matter. It was around 9 o'clock in the morning, between 9 and 9:30 in the morning, Mexico City time, that the announcement came that the Mexican president called President Trump and surrendered in the trade war and gave President Trump everything he wanted, and then some, it looks like. So what does that tell you? It tells you that as soon as the Mexican president and her staff were awake, they called Washington and surrendered in the trade war, because it was first thing in the morning, their time, when they did it. That's absolutely amazing. That's the power of the United States. What the United States has that's more powerful than even our military is our economic strength. We got two big things economically going for us. One, the United States is the largest economy in the world, which is really amazing with these Democrats running the country for so many years, wrecking it. We're still the number one largest economy in the world. And the second one is something that the left always put out there as if it's a negative. We're the largest consumer nation in the world. That is tremendous power. That means everybody wants to send their stuff here, so we'll buy it. First thing in the morning, Mexico's president surrenders to President Trump in the trade war. But anyway, back to the El Salvador deal. Okay. El Salvador's president has offered to accept deportees from the United States of all nationalities, as well as violent criminals now in prison in the United States. Rubio said that the president of El Salvador has agreed to the most unprecedented, extraordinary agreement anywhere, migratory agreement anywhere in the world. No doubt about that. He's also offered to do the same for dangerous criminals currently in custody and serving their sentence in the United States, even though they're U.S. citizens or legal residents. Rubio was visiting El Salvador on Monday to press a friendly government to do more to meet Trump's demands for a major crackdown on immigration. The El Salvador president agreed to take back all Salvadorian MS-13 gang members who are in the United States unlawfully, which means all of them because they're criminals. The president of El Salvador also promised to accept and incarcerate violent illegal immigrants, including members of the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang, but also criminal illegal migrants from any country, the State Department spokesperson said, Tammy Bruce. And as an extraordinary gesture, never before extended to any country, the president of El Salvador offered to house in his jails dangerous American criminals, including U.S. citizens and legal residents, Tammy Bruce said. She called this a tremendously successful meeting that will make both countries safer, stronger, and more prosperous. Rubio spoke in San Salvador shortly after all this stuff in D.C. was happening yesterday. So, I mean, this is extraordinary what's going on here, people. We are in a place, an era that we have never been in before. Marco Rubio, and I'm going to throw this out to you. because this is just, I didn't do any research. This is just from my recollection of living my life, okay? I cannot think of another United States Secretary of State visiting another country, and he's visited multiple now, and making deals that benefit the people of the United States. All the other secretaries of states, they travel around the world, they start wars, and give them blank checks. Do you know of another Secretary of State that has done as much as Marco Rubio in our lifetimes, okay? Let's keep it to our lifetimes, to benefit the people of the United States? I am so blown away, impressed by Marco Rubio, and I don't say this lightly. He deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for this. And yesterday I was talking, a lot of it had to do with him being a native Spanish speaker. That's a factor, but I think what the bigger factor is not just the power of Trump and they understand Trump. Marco Rubio has gone to South America and met with their leaders as a native speaker, Cuban American, and treating them with respect, which they've never gotten before, I don't think, from this country. And they're showing their respect back to our great country and our great president and our incredible Secretary of State. He should get the Nobel Peace Prize, and I'm not exaggerating that. I have never been so impressed with a Secretary of State as Marco Rubio. Think about it. What have the other ones done to benefit and help the people of the United States? And by the people of the United States, I don't mean the military-industrial complex. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. I apologize. A lot of you have been on hold, well, for about 3/4 of an hour. I've had a lot to cover. I haven't even scratched the surface yet, but I will go to the phones after the break. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Back right after this. If you're on hold, hang in there. This is real winning. This is super real winning. We'll be back on the air in 30 seconds on the radio. But this is, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. This is real winning. Real winning. It's like nonstop. I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of people. We're not used to winning like this. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Oh, man. All this winning going on. All right, let's take some of these calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Cynthia from Martin County.
Hey, Cynthia. How you been?
I'm good. So I just wanted to give a little story. So back in the day when we started the Tea Party, which is quite a while ago, one of our first things that we did was to interview Marco Rubio. So he came out, went to a little pizza place in Hollandale, and he was running for the Senate. We asked him if he would sit down with us and go through our questionnaire. He kind of avoided it. He didn't want to do it, so we chased him all over. Long story short, Marco has become he's amazing. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why. Because I worked very closely in the last couple of years, and I have a friend who has worked for him since then. He's had his head down. He's an expert on China. He works late at night. He has a great family. He's a Christian. And when I first contacted this person, he said to me, "Well, you guys are going to support Marco again?" And I said, "Yeah, we've we didn't support him when he was in the Gang of Eight. He got there and he went along with McCain. Mm-hmm. He was captured when they wanted to give amnesty to all of those illegals.
That's right.
He's changed,
yeah,
and he is a good man now. And I think it's remarkable.
Change is I'll tell you, change. That's true, and I agree with everything you said. Okay, because in the past things were different with him, and that was many years ago. I mean, you're talking about 2008 and stuff. More than changed, I think what's happened is he's grown up. We've seen him grow up because he was really young then, and I am so And by the way, our radio signal, we're in Miami. He is making Florida. He's making Miami proud. I've never seen a Secretary of State do as much as he's done for the people of the United States.
Yes, he really loves this country, and he's a Christian, and he and says it, and he's listen. When you're in the Senate, it's like a club. And sometimes you got to go along, and sometimes you got to vote for things you don't want to vote for. Mm-hmm. And then you grow up and you start figuring out that because remember, the Tea Party, we supported Mike Lee, we supported Ted Cruz. Lots of others that were brought in because of the Tea Party. And how about the Mint? Where he actually left. And so Marco is. I am just so proud of him, and I'm so proud to be a Floridian. And I think we have to get 100% behind him, and we have to continue this. So you cannot sit on the sidelines, because when we need to do something, we're calling out an alert. Like for me, like I'm calling it out in my email blast. You got to make phone calls.
Yeah.
You got to be on this all the time. You cannot let them. You can't give them an inch.
No, okay? I agree, and I got to tell you, when I've seen Marco Rubio, and I saw that he did that press conference yesterday, but then he did that Fox News interview. I see a president. He's very presidential.
Yeah. And he's very good, and I think he's come a long way, and I'm really proud of him. And I hope the same thing. Listen, for whatever it's worth, I would hope that DeSantis also will come a long way. I think he made a mistake. I think he listened to some bad people around him.
His wife. That was his wife. That was his wife. Jeb's wife was whispering in Ron DeSantis' wife, and she got him all worked up and screwed up his whole career.
Yeah. Well, now he's in a fight with the State House, and we've got to get that immigration bill. So if you follow some people, make some calls to your representative in the State House and ask them to support Ron DeSantis'
See,
bill.
a lot of people,
you
know this well, but a lot of people don't realize while Florida is a Republican state, our state government is controlled by a bunch of Bush Republicans. And they're trying to derail the deportations that President Trump's bringing to Florida with this new bill. And Rubio is standing up for Trump and this bill in Florida. Yeah.
Hey, Brian, one more thing. Remember, the staffers are still there in the State House. They're Bush staffers.
Yes.
They're still there.
Yeah.
It's like when people say, well, it's this one or that one, I always say, well, who are the staffers? I'm making phone calls into Representative Massey, who did not support Trump in 2016. He didn't support him in 2020. Now he supports him, and he's got the bill to get rid of the Department of Education.
Just give you an example of the control of Jeb. Anna Navarro on The View is a Republican. Her husband's like one of the top Republicans in the last 20 years in the state of Florida, one of the big party bosses. And, you see her on The View, right? So, but hey, listen, everything's going well. Marco Rubio is making Florida proud, but I got to tell you, he is the most incredible Secretary of State this country has ever had. The other ones go around the world and start wars.
Bless him and bless everybody that's working for Trump. We're going to take our country back.
That's
we
right.
have to.
We already have. Hey, take care. Great
Thank
call.
You, Brian.
Great call. Oh, man. All this winning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie.
To you this morning. Are you tired of winning already?
I'll tell you, no, but this winning, I think it's uncomfortable for a lot of people because we've never won on the level that we're winning now. And I think it's very uncomfortable. And the media, I watch the media and they're not even talking about anything. They're numb.
Let me say a few things here. The president of El Salvador, first of all, I give Marco Rubio a lot of credit. He's very presidential. But the fact of the matter is that Brian Craig could have gone down there and they would have had the same deal. Richard could have gone down there. The bus driver could have gone down there. They would have got the same deal because this president from El Salvador has completely turned that country around. They had a big thing about this guy. They were the murder capital of Central America, and now they're all locked up.
That's right.
And they love him there. They made the streets safe, and he believes in Trump. He's a Trumper. And so is the guy from Argentina, another Trumper. And once these people in South America start seeing this garbage, that with this Maduro garbage and this Colombian guy, I'm telling you right now, the whole South America is going to turn conservative, and it's going to be a wonderful thing to see.
And right now, I was reading this morning, Richie, that the U.S. Air Force, we have fighter jets flying over Mexico. They're scouting out, I'm assuming, drug cartel targets.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Now I want to talk about this other deal that we have. This aid, USA.
Oh, this is beautiful. Yes.
They had people actually on mainstream media talking about how it's going to affect children with cancer and stuff like this. You know what these people do? They take up like their bills that they have in Washington, D.C. They name it something that's completely different than it is, and then they go and they take one thing in there that the people know about, and then they fill it with all their pet peeve garbage that costs us tons of money.
Okay, like one of the things I saw. By the way, USAID is obviously a CIA front organization, and this is how they pay each other off and everything in D.C. Like one of the things I saw, like they pay for like. Drag queen story time in Peru. Do you really think they're paying for drag queen story time? This is what it is. That's what they put on the books. The money really goes somewhere else, I promise you. And there's all this trans stuff because to the DC insiders.
Yeah, the pockets.
And the pockets of the congressmen, the members of Congress, and all that. That's where that's how they all make money is through USAID. But on the transgender stuff has been in vogue the last 4 years. So everything is transgender and drag queen. but that's just what they put in the accounting books. It doesn't really go. I do not believe they're paying for drag queen story time in some Russian republic. Give me a break.
They're not. And here's the deal. I don't know what you make as a salary. You work your behind off. You're on all these platforms. You're on the radio. And you're a hustler. Okay, you're a worker and a big time energy worker. And if you were making the same as a congressman, $176,000 a year, you'd be doing pretty good. Okay, I don't know whether you make that or not. You might make more. But the fact of the matter is, I could tell you that if you were making that, Brian Craig would not become a multimillionaire in 2 years.
I wouldn't take 10 cents.
Up in Washington.
No, they're all on all on the take.
All of them become millionaires up in Washington after 2-3 years. AOC, who went up there, and look what her worth is today. I would love to, if you get a chance, maybe you can Google it on one of your breaks, and just let the people know what she had, what her. And
they tell you it's through book deals. That's fake. The book deals are a cover. Richie, I got to run, but great call. Appreciate it. All right.
Have a good one.
All right. Take care. If you're on hold, hang in there. I was talking with my wife on my podcast last night. We're talking about Mike Lindell and MyPillow because it's free shipping site-wide on all orders now. Free shipping with our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout. And I was telling my wife, and she agreed with this, that, we have all the pillows. We've got all the MyPillow products. But after the pillow, what is like the one MyPillow product that you wouldn't, if you could only get one more MyPillow product, you've got the pillows, what would that be? And my wife and I, we both agreed, the towels. The towels are just $29.98 with our promo code Kane. Yeah, that's right. And that's a $40 discount. Plus you get free shipping. Free shipping on all orders, no matter how small, no matter how large, with our promo code Kane. When Mike Lindell says towels that actually work, what a concept. He means it. I get out of the, how you get out of the shower and you're cold because the water's evaporating? When I turn the shower off, I dry off with the MyPillow towel in the shower. I get out of the shower. I don't have that cold feeling because I'm bone dry. The other towels, all they do is spread the water around your body. So, and they have a whole bunch of new colors in. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. It's free shipping no matter what you order with our promo code Kane, and there's huge discounts as well. That's promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at MyPillow.com. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's a great day of winning. If you're on hold, hang in there. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break.
Let me read a headline to you. Chicago leaders encourage...
What I was talking to Richie about is this winning. I was watching Outnumbered on Fox yesterday, and they almost, with all this news breaking, they really weren't talking about much. And because Trump is not getting involved in any conflicts with anyone, He's just doing these things, and everything he's doing so popular, the news media don't even know how to cover it. It's really kind of funny to watch, isn't it? It's hilarious. We'll get back to we'll take another call or two, and then I'm going to get into this idiot governor, Phil Murphy in New Jersey, who's harboring a federal fugitive from justice by his own confession on television. I mean, this guy. I mean, this is insane. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video. And if you could share the video, that would be awesome too. Now, those of you that are watching on the live stream with the green background, the video and audio, you hear the callers, but not the audio, and you can't see the video. You have to go to my other stream for that. This is amazing. And all this winning is it's not just a lot of winning, it's happening so fast. You know? Like so quick. Okay. 15 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Oh, man, all this winning going on. And it's not just that we're winning on big things quickly. I'm not going to recap everything because so much has happened that I've covered in the first hour, but Canada surrendered yesterday. Mexico surrendered yesterday. President Trump made an incredible deal with Ukraine. You know, I remember when the Iraq War was going on and it was winding down. And I remember President Trump was doing an interview somewhere. This was probably when he was running for president the first time. And he said, you know, these idiots that run this country, they should have made a deal, and they could have made a deal with Iraq to pay us back for liberating them and the cost of the war by giving us oil, pay us back in free oil. Well, he just made a deal, well, a demand, but we'll call it a deal to be nice, with Zelensky in Ukraine. Apparently they have a lot of rare earth minerals in Ukraine. And I saw a list of them. I hadn't even heard of most of these things. And they're going to pay us back for all the quadrillions of dollars we've given them in these rare earth minerals. When has the United States ever been paid back for saving a country before? This will be the first time. It's amazing. All this winning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You know, you're right about all this winning we're doing. You know, Nicaragua and Mexico and Canada and all this other stuff that's happening, winning. But you see, what people don't understand is there's a group of Republicans that are still stuck in the old Republican way of not wanting to win. They're losers, in other words.
That's right.
You know, the Mitch McConnells and people like that. They're losers, you know. But if you notice things that haven't happened, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been quiet on wanting to get rid of Mike Johnson because Trump has Johnson in his pocket. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
You know, John Thune is a new school Republican, even though I thought he might have been a McConnell guy, but he sounds like he's a new school Republican because all of Trump's guys are going to get through.
Oh yeah, that's right. And it looks like tomorrow. It looks like tomorrow we're going to get Pam Bondi. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call, Mike from Louisiana. Yeah. He's right on the money. Everyone's going to get. I think today it's going to be Bobby Kennedy. Maybe I've got the definite on that. Our number, by the way, 1-888-465-2631. Toll free from anywhere. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. Once, twice.
Good morning, Brian.
Oh,
Hello?
you just made it.
Good morning. Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara. I just got on your show and heard President Trump is phenomenal. I just want to say this. For anyone who saw that, or I'm sure you did, that interview where Elon, Omar, and a few other of those ragtag Democrats were out there screaming about what Donald Trump is doing and taking over the country.
Oh, you're talking about when they were leading an insurrection with employees of the USAID office trying to break into the USAID offices.
Well, I hope they understand that is they're inciting riots, and those are federal offenses. But most importantly, President Trump smoked out everybody yesterday.
Oh yeah,
these people. He done something on instinct. What he did as far as those tariffs. That's why he was adamant he wasn't going to go back on it. And bam, these people understand. These dictators and rulers and owners and all of them in these countries know that without America, that USA aid took care of a lot of them. A lot of them. And I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the politicians living in palaces while their people live in squalor, like in Haiti. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you know what it looks like, Barbara?
That's a part of it.
It looks like USAID is how they pay off all the DC insiders too. And the reason that the reason that these Democrats ran over to the USAID office is because they're in a panic. They've made a lot of deals with people, and the money's not coming now.
Yes, they have,
and they can't deliver.
Omar, no, they can't. And Donald Trump appointed Elon director of whatever title he gave him. That's it. See, the Democrats set the precedent by trying to arrest and lock up President Trump.
And shooting him.
All hands on deck now. And shooting him. And the deal is this. You're going to take it. And a lot of them are going to go down. And it's going to be real. And we're not. And I don't believe that our FBI are going to go into people's houses with guns blazing because they were in front of a church. These people are in deep trouble. I'm so grateful to President Trump. People in Maryland need to get rid of Chris Van Hollen. He was out there. Jamie Raskin out there, all from Maryland.
Well, what we found, USAID is, again, like where everybody worldwide, including our DC insiders, are obviously paid off. They went there. I'm wondering how this is going to affect the Democrats in the midterms because all these donors that they've made promises to, they can't deliver on. They're going to lose some big donors.
Well, I tell you what, they lost Miss Shanahan, the lady, was it JFK's campaign manager?
Oh,
they
yes.
definitely lost her. And she's told the people who are not voting for the nominees, she's coming after them.
Yeah.
And I think she mentioned Maine. She's talking to Susan Collins. Susan Collins cannot, in good conscience, and ever expect to be reelected again if she votes against Tulsi Gabbard and Lisa Murkowski. You don't vote against a woman, and not in this. When the Democrats throw their women out there, even the incompetent ones, it doesn't matter. And we've got competent people. President Trump deserves everybody.
Absolutely.
He has selected.
Well, Barbara, I agree. I agree with everything you said. I want to thank you for your call. I'll give you the last word. All right.
I just want to say we're blessed that we have him. Take care. Have a good day.
You too. Take care. Yes, we are most definitely blessed to have him. And, these Democrats that ran over to the USAID office, that was something they did in a panic because that's their money. That's their money. That's where they all get their money and their families get their money and their donors get their money. Do you really think... I want to ask you this question. We've seen this list of weird things. Do you really think they're paying for Drag Queen Story Hour in Peru? No. That's what they put on the books, and then they take the money, okay? And the reason there's so much trans stuff on the list that's new is because that was what was in vogue under the Biden years. Well, let me take some more calls, then after the break I'll get some new stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing?
All right.
This is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. All this winning that Trump's bringing us, oh, my goodness. It's beautiful.
Don't even talk about it. I'm having a glorious time watching him just work his magic. I mean, he is amazing. Even better than I thought. I mean, honestly, I never doubt what he do. I may have some concerns, but other than that, he's doing great, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
But I am calling you to say this is the greatest thing we have ever done. Put President Trump back in that White House and let him control this nation. The Democrats are freaking out, and they don't know how to handle themselves. They look like fools, idiots, and I got more to say.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, all this winning, let's celebrate. This is awesome.
Yeah. And on Inauguration Day, I didn't come out because it was so cold over here where I live at. It was like in the low 50s. Oh, my God, that was, my bone can't take that.
You didn't make it to Wings Plus. Yeah, that's okay. Next time.
Yeah. But I want to say you guys been awesome. I appreciate all of you. And now we do have a foot to the table because we can look at the real stuff that's going on with all the policies being changed. The Democrat can't accept it. They freaking out. They trying to go to court. They telling the protesters to go protest in the street. That's why you see all these protesters out there protesting because the Democrat Party called them out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. That's good. Let them call them. Let them call out their minions to do their evil stuff. It's not very popular to shut down traffic on the LA freeway.
Exactly. I'm gonna be going to make a post about what I'm seeing because if I don't call it out, I'm not America.
Yeah.
I'm America, and you doing that in the streets, taking our American flag and stomping on it like we trash. I don't think so.
Well, you didn't make it to Wings Plus, but later this month I have an appearance coming up. I'm not going to tell you about it now, but I've got one coming up local later this month, and you'll hear about it in a couple weeks, and you can come to that one. I look forward to meeting you.
Okay, sure. I'm definitely going to make that trip because it's kind of warm now, but I'm definitely going to try to meet y'all.
What are you, Goldilocks? It's too cold. It's too warm. I mean, what is the ideal temperature to get you out of your house? Now it's hot, then it's cold.
I could get out of my house, but the last couple of months I've been having a lot of issue with arthritis.
Oh, I see.
It takes, and I'm about to become 53 years old in maybe another week. So yeah, I'm having a lot of issues with my bones. So
that's not old. How old am I? I'm 53. I'm 53, and I don't have arthritis pains. I used to.
Oh, okay.
You know why? I used to have arthritis pains.
Right. Well, when you have diabetes, because that's what I have. I have diabetes, so the arthritis.
What you got to do? Listen, I look forward to meeting you. Hopefully the temperature will be okay, Goldilocks. But I appreciate the call, Maria. Okay. No, but I used to have arthritis pain, like Maria. But I went to go see Dr. Appleton, and you should too, Maria, okay? Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment, when I had this pain in my finger, it was really bad, this pain in my finger. And it was the finger that I used for the dump button when callers use profanity. And it was in so much pain, I was almost in tears. I went to see Dr. Appleton. He examined me. He says, Brian, you've got arthritis. And I was like, oh. I said, that's it. I'm done. I got arthritis. That's not something you want to hear either because it kind of makes you feel old, And he says, no, I will treat it with the laser treatment. And sure enough, he treated me with the laser treatment, and my arthritis pain is gone. And that was like a year ago? You guys remember when I went and did that? It had to be about a year ago, close to a year. And not only did he rid me of my arthritis pain, it has not returned. He's rid me of pain 7 times. He can rid you of your pain too. Don't be like Maria. Oh, I'm 53. I'm in pain now. life, well, you can live in pain if you like it, if you're some kind of weirdo, but I choose to live pain-free, and I don't take medications. I go see Dr. Appleton with his laser wave pain treatment, which there are no medications. It is 100% painless. You don't even feel it when the treatment's happening. You can't even feel it. There's no drugs, no downtime. Dr. Appleton performs all the treatments himself. And Maria called, I think she calls from Pompano. She's in the same town as Dr. Appleton. He's over by what used to be Pompano Harness Track. Go see Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, too, like I've done. 954-973-0710. 954. See, do you hear the difference in Maria and me? Because she is suffering with arthritis pain. She hasn't seen Dr. Appleton. My arthritis pain is gone thanks to Dr. Philip Appleton. And listen, she's like, oh, I don't know, the weather, oh. And me, I'm like, let's go. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this. All right, we'll be back in 1 minute. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to get into this idiot governor in New Jersey. Tom Homan's coming after him. I can't wait for the first public official to get arrested for harboring federal fugitives. 30 seconds. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video and share the video on your socials. All right, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. So much is happening. You know, Mexico surrendered first thing in the morning yesterday to President Trump. And the media, they were so upset about that. Because the stock market was going down. They were so excited. The Dow was down and all this stuff. And then, boom, Mexico surrenders. And, you know, you look at these idiot Democrats who they don't understand that the country has changed and what's going on here. You saw these idiots, Schumer and the rest. Did you guys see Schumer? He did a little press conference. He held up a can of Corona and an avocado, and he was smiling. Oh, these are going to be more money. Now, first off, serious question. Who drinks Corona out of a can? Ugh. I like Corona. I had a Corona on Saturday. I drink Corona out of a bottle, not out of a can. Chuck Schumer, I don't know. He probably drinks anything, no matter what container it's in, because he just wants that alcohol. But they thought they had this thing. They thought the avocado and the corona prices were going to bring Trump down. You guys shot him, it didn't bring him down. You arrested him, it didn't bring him down. You got a mugshot, it didn't bring him down. You broke into his house, it didn't bring him down. You think avocado and corona is going to bring him down? Are you out of your mind? I really, though, hope that they don't wise up. So Phil Murphy, the idiot governor of New Jersey, decided to go on television and confess something that is very strange, that he's harboring a federal fugitive from justice. I'm going to play it for you in a minute, and Tom Homan's ready to go lock him up. But here, here's these idiot Democrats. Now, I can't. I could play it if I put the bleeps in, but did you see this this roofer from South Florida who went viral over the weekend, who was talking about all his illegals from his cruise? He couldn't get any jobs done because the illegals from his cruise. He goes online and confesses that he's been committing labor fraud. These Democrats, they just don't understand what's going on. So listen here. This is the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy.
Talking about, I don't want to get into too much detail, but there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Okay, so this is nuts. So first of all, I think about this, guys and ladies. If I told my wife, hey, there's this Latina, she's illegal, Tom Homan's coming around, I want her to live above the garage. I don't have an apartment above the garage, okay? What is he, the Cunninghams? What is this? But what would your wife say if all of a sudden you knew this Latina that you wanted to move in above the garage and keep her safe? My wife would be like, what's that all about? And I think most wives would. But second, anybody get the Cunninghams reference? I think you guys got that reference. I don't have to tell you. But here he is going on television, confessing. He's doing a couple things here. First, he's confessing that he is harboring a federal fugitive above the garage at his house. You just can't harbor federal fugitives. You're going to let bank robbers and kidnappers stay there too? He's harboring a federal fugitive. So who goes on TV and confesses? Well, first off, who does that? And then who goes on TV and does that? And then what does he do? Because he's the governor, he has state trooper protection. So he's harboring a federal fugitive from justice above his garage. Above the garage. Why not, like, in the guest room? Why the garage, Gov? Why can't you have her in the guest room next to the master bedroom? A lot of suspicious things going on here. The First Lady of New Jersey needs to ask some questions. But he's not only is he harboring a federal fugitive, he's daring the feds to come in, and he's implying that he and his state troopers are going to get involved in a gun battle with ICE, with Tom Homan and Christy Noem keeping the feds out. Now, Tom Homan responded to this on Hannity last night, which I'm going to play for you in a moment. But I know this is insane what's going on here. But what the Democrats have wanted to do, before Inauguration Day, I mentioned this a few times on the air. What the Democrats are going to try to do is create a Waco, Ruby Ridge-like situation. They want a siege somewhere where someone is harboring illegals in a church, in a school, in a home, and they're not going to turn them over. And they want Tom Homan and Christy Noem to surround it and have a Ruby Ridge Waco siege go on. Tom Homan, Christy Noem, President Trump are much smarter than that. Okay, that's not going to happen. So the governor of New Jersey, he's got this Latina he's harboring above his garage, and Hannity had Homan on last night, and Tom Homan responded. Listen.
Let me read a headline to you. Chicago leaders encourage residents to exercise their rights in resisting Trump's deportation policies.
You cannot resist federal agents, okay? That's a federal crime.
The governor of New Jersey.
And by the way, I think what they're doing is an insurrection. They're interrupting government business by doing that, right?
Jersey, Phil Murphy basically admitted that he knew something.
Okay, let me rewind. I talked over. Here he's going to ask him about the New Jersey governor with the Latina.
The governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, basically admitted that he knew somebody that didn't have full documentation, that he was hiding over his garage.
But there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Your comment on all of that?
I think the governor's pretty foolish saying what he said, because I got note of it, won't let it go, we'll look into it. And if he's knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien, that's a violation of Title 8 United States Code 1324. I would seek prosecution, or the secretary would seek prosecution. So maybe he's bluffing. If he's not, we'll deal with that. And as far as suing sanctuary cities, well...
Okay, so the governor of New Jersey could get arrested by Tom Homan or Christy Noem. This is what a bunch of idiots these people are. You know what I'd like to know about this Latina that he's harboring above the garage for her safety? I'd like to know how old she is and what the relationship is. Wouldn't you? Any of you guys have any Latinas you're harboring? Gee whiz. Is this like Schwarzenegger with the you know, he had a Latina at his house. Look what happened. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and we got a lot more to share because so much has been happening. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Back right after this.
By bringing down No.
All right, we'll be back on the radio in 1 minute. This is as good as it gets, people. All right, stand by. About 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. All right, so lots happening. There's so much winning going on that I may be going through some of the stories faster than normal, but I'll do some recapping on some of the things from earlier in the show later because so many good things have happened, and some are just historic in nature, but this came out, I saw this morning. Listen to this. The United States Air Force have intelligence aircraft flying over Mexican airspace, and they're doing tracking on the cartel movements. And this was part of the deal that Mexico made in the surrender to Trump yesterday from Mexico. Remember now, both Canada and Mexico surrendered in the trade wars to President Trump. I remember it was, I don't know if it was Sunday or Saturday, I don't know. Over the weekend, I saw this story. Oh, Canada and Mexico have allied in the trade wars. They're joining forces to fight the United States in the trade wars and the tariff wars, and boom. They both surrendered one after the other on the same day, the first day of the week. And part of the surrender agreement with Mexico yesterday was what's going on right here. President Trump has declared and signed an order that the drug cartels are terrorist organizations, just like ISIS, Al-Qaeda. And it's only a matter of time. There'll be a big news break at some point where they've launched a big strike. This is huge. Huge, huge, huge. This is something that should have happened back in the 70s. Okay? And it's something we've talked about for decades, and now it's finally happening. They're going to take out those cartels. Now, I don't know if the government of Mexico wants the cartels gone or not, because I imagine they're cartel-backed. I don't know, but they're going to be gone. Now, with all that happening, so much happening. The FBI, if you've been following this, they're talking about this on CNN and MSNBC. They're in such a panic that all these things are being discussed openly on the cable news. The FBI is in open revolt against President Trump, okay? Kash Patel, who we find out has a very young girlfriend who's a country singing sensation. Some girl in her 20s is his girlfriend he's been with for a couple of years. But before Kash Patel has even been confirmed as the FBI director, President Trump's doing a lot of firing at the FBI. And a lot of the senior agents in charge of particular offices have been emailing on the FBI email, which is a public server, all kinds of things, including I saw in one story the FBI agent in charge of the New York office, which has got to be a pretty prominent office to lead. And what they've been telling their people through the FBI government email system is that FBI agents cannot be fired without due process. So are they talking about when they're fired by President Trump refusing to leave? I don't know what this means. They're in open revolt, and they've been the secret government for so long. I guess they're not accepting it. They're I don't know what this means, but Anderson Cooper had Andy McCabe on. He's the guy that Trump fired like 2 seconds before his pension kicked in. Remember that? And he's on CNN talking about the mood at the FBI. Listen.
No, nothing like this, Andrew. This is totally unprecedented. FBI rank and file agents and analysts who make up the vast majority of the field offices who do the work of investigating these cases, of executing search warrants, of executing arrest warrants, doing surveillance, electronic surveillance, whatever it might be. Those people are never touched by the political winds that blow through every 4 years.
Really? Weren't some of those the ones spying on Trump Tower back in 2015? Those are the surveillance people.
Surveillance, electronic surveillance, whatever it might be. Those people are never touched by the political winds that blow through every 4 years, nor should they be. They, as you said, they don't pick their work. They're assigned to the work that they do. The work they do is lawful. It's within FBI policies, and not doing the work is not really an option for them, right? They come to the FBI. Most of them come intending to stay for the entirety of their careers, 20 years or more, 20 years on the agent side, a little bit more for the support side. And so to be targeted in this way for termination potentially or retribution simply for doing their jobs.
Now, doing their jobs involves breaking into the home of President Trump and going through the First Lady's closet and underwear drawer and tossing Barron's room and throwing the contents of the president's desk on the floor and taking photographs. That's the job he's talking about?
Within FBI policies, and not doing the work is not really an option for them, right? They come to the FBI. Most of them come intending to stay for the entirety of their careers, 20 years or more, 20 years on the agent side, a little bit more for the support side. And so to be targeted in this way for termination potentially or retribution simply for doing their jobs on a major national security case is incomprehensible to them or anybody that knows the organization. I've talked to more FBI people in the last 4 days than I did in the prior 4 years. As John has described it accurately, it is a place in utter disarray right now. People are worried about, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to support my family? If I lose, if you're anywhere in the middle of that career, not close to retirement, if you get fired, you're done. That's the end of your reputation, your ability to get a new job. You lose your pay, you lose your chance at a pension, you lose your health insurance. This is a moment of terror for these people. It is absolutely disgraceful that they are being put through this in the middle of some political gamesmanship or active retribution. They don't deserve to be treated this way. It's unlawful and it's disgusting.
Okay, now keep in mind, these are the people that were spying on Trump Tower during the first campaign, broke into Mar-a-Lago, tossed Barron's room, threw the contents of the president's desk on the floor and photographed it, went through Melania's closet, went through Melania's underwear drawer, and that's just one instance. They've done more too. These are the honorable people. What is he? Is he? This is crazy. And this is why you really got to watch MSNBC and CNN. They're in such panic in Washington as their establishment is collapsing. They're so hysterical. They're going on national TV and sharing everything. It's like it's a train wreck, and it's fun to watch, I must say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice.
Hello.
Oh, you just made it.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Kenny from Palm Beach.
Hey, Kenny.
How you doing?
All right, man.
Now, you were talking earlier about the El Salvador prison. I think I saw a special some time back. I don't know if it was a special or 60 Minutes. But these gang members, MS-13 and the other who's I can't pronounce, that will be some of the worst of the worst shipped there, they're never seeing daylight again.
No, those are the most dangerous prisons in the world. I saw that special you're talking about on the prisons in El Salvador. Clips of it are all over X since this announcement came. They're scary.
It makes the sheriff from Arizona that had the prisoners dress up in pink prison suits like
that's Club Med.
Kindergarten.
That's the Sandals Resort. Okay, you know. But you know what? It's a deterrent too. It's a deterrent. You know, if prison wasn't scary, how many Americans would do crime? Right?
Exactly.
You know, the number one thing that keeps men from committing crimes, right? Like statutory rape crimes, is the fear of the prison rapes and the showers. And I know it's not supposed to be that way on the books, but these guys are animals. They're like Al Qaeda and ISIS. American prisons are vacation Club Med resorts for them. El Salvador, even the MS-13s are afraid.
Well, kind of the same with Guantanamo, but probably not.
Guantanamo's a vacation compared to the El Salvador prisons. There's no ACLU in El Salvador.
It's just so great to get them out of the country. And, you know, they're not going to be tossing cell phones over the fence to try to plan things outside of the prison. You know, none of that's going to be.
You know what it's like? It's like
the
El Salvador prisons are like Devil's Island and Papillon with Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
Or the Turkish prison in what was that movie called? Midnight. What was that movie where the guy went to the Turkish prison? Remember that movie? Midnight Express.
Oh yeah.
Midnight Express.
Midnight Express.
It's like
movie.
Oh yeah. It's the El Salvador prisons are like the Turkish prison in Midnight Express.
I think that was based on a true story too.
You know, I meant the actor at an autograph convention that played the warden in Midnight Express, and he's like an American guy. You know, and I was
the guy that got hung up on the hook when he got shoved against the wall.
And I was talking to him. I was like, you know, I said, you know how many people don't go to Turkey because of you? And he's like, oh yeah. He says the Turkish travel authorities, they hate me, but it's true, you know. And El Salvador is like the Midnight Express prison. Exactly. It's a car, except it's real and it's modern.
Yeah. So one more question. What do you think the ticket would be as of now? J.D. Vance and Rubio? Or
Rubio's not a bottom of the... Marco Rubio is not a bottom of the ticket kind of guy. So we got a competition going on right now for in 2028 between Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance. There's no doubt. I mean, maybe we're biased because we're in Florida. But but I'm also originally from Ohio. I got bonds to both guys, but Marco Rubio is so impressive, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. He really is, and he just has a good mannerism. He's got just everything it takes as far as his speaking abilities, charisma. The first Hispanic to achieve that office, I believe. There's just a lot of things going for him.
You know, yesterday Mike from Louisiana called, and he made a good point that I had not thought of, which is unusual for Mike from Louisiana. But there have been two secretaries of state who haven't been white, both of them Republicans, Condoleezza Rice and Marco. I know he's Cuban, you may consider that white, but you understand what I mean? All the Democrats have had white people. I wonder why that is.
Well, we got the ball rolling big time, and their heads are spinning. They don't even know what to do.
Oh, and I forgot about Colin Powell. Yeah,
it's exponentially better every day, every week. It just keeps building steam.
Well, you know, this thing, you know, we got the Guantanamo thing going, but this thing in El Salvador, these Venezuelan gang members are terrified of these El Salvador prisons. From everything I'm reading online about it, these are we're joking around about Midnight Express and all, and that was based on a true story. But this is it takes a lot to scare these guys. I mean, you got to understand, when they went into that apartment building in Colorado, they weren't even wearing masks, and they were committing crimes that give you life. These are fearless guys, but El Salvador scares them. And I haven't heard any ACLU bleeding hearts inject themselves into it yet. We'll see. Hey, listen, I got to run.
They'll try to give the American prisoners rights or something.
Oh, we've got rights. Yeah, just like in Dirty Harry. I've got rights. A lot of movie references today, but they all apply. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We've covered a lot, so I'm just going to go straight to the phones. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once.
Hello?
Yeah, oh, you just made it. What's your name? Yeah, you're on. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You got me name. IB, brother.
Hey, IB. I got a message about you yesterday from a listener.
I must be having you on my speaker. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I got a message about you from a listener yesterday. And yeah, it was an African American listener, and he thought it was rude of me to say that you don't sound black. That I was being rude to you, and I didn't remember you telling me that before, but I don't know why it would be. Listen, you guys, I don't get to see you guys. I hear you you get to see me online. I don't know what any of you look like, and those of you that call regularly, like IB and stuff that I haven't met, like I've met Doug and Richie, the bus driver, but I haven't met you. I only know you from your voice, so you get these images in your mind.
You also met Brian from Deerfield, so.
Did I?
You have a connection when Brian is on the phone with you. You have a connection because you guys met at Wings Plus before. Anyway, moving right along.
But yeah,
in a sentence, what was the FBI guy complaint was? What was his gripe? The FBI person, you played the tape. What was his gripe?
That they can't break into the homes of presidents anymore, I guess. I don't know. They can't put wires on presidential candidates' campaign headquarters, and I don't know.
I think it was something about the jobs being in jeopardy or something.
Trump's getting ready to fire a whole bunch of FBI agents.
My point is they still have a house, a roof over their head, a car, still having a job in a way, but they forget. They think we have a bad memory. What about the people in the fires? What about Maui? What about the train in Philistine derailment? What about the people that just got wiped out?
What
in
about
Carolina
the
with the
J6ers
flood?
that have been
that?
locked up for 5 years? The J6ers, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to feel sorry for you guys, and when you put us through hell and want to give you $755 and say, hey, get a little pat on your back to get back on your feet, and they're complaining. We're not going to forget about. Hey, we have a memory. We don't need social media to tell us what to think and how to remember things. Okay, and they're not going to get away with this. The train is running before they can react to one thing from Thursday, Friday of last week. 5 things already happened on Saturday, and here we are into Tuesday. They're not going to be able to keep up with it. It's like the dust is in their face right now, and all they're saying is smoke, and they're dizzy.
Look what's happened. Look what's happened. Canada and Mexico surrendered yesterday. Canada and Mexico both are putting 10,000 troops on their border with us to stop drugs and illegals. Canada's appointing a drug czar for the first time. The Mexicans arrested a top cartel guy. U.S. intelligence planes are now flying over Mexico, tracking down the cartels. I mean, everything's going perfect.
My words is in action now, because a couple of months back when we said, hey, I said we must make South America pay for allowing all those people to come up through their borders, and we must make them pay. And yes, tariffs can do it, and that would be the good way to start. And the fact that I said that he will use everything at his disposal, that being the president, which means covert operations, to put it in simple terms. And now you guys are seeing those words come to fruition. Have a great day, y'all.
All right, IB. Great call. IB's come a long way, too. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. West Palm Beach.
Yep.
Jessica, how you doing?
All right, Jessica.
Hi. I wanted to talk about the FBI, what's going on there, and Mr. President Trump firing all these agents. I agree with him firing all of them. Not some of them. I agree that he should clean house, because these are the people, the same people that went into his house. These are the same people that, abused the January 6th people. That these are the same government and people that threatened, the soldiers that they needed to be vaccinated. And when they didn't refuse to vaccinate, they lost their jobs, their insurance, their entire life. Those soldiers were abused so they need to be fired. And we don't forget, exactly like the last caller said. I wanted to talk to you too about what's going on with the legislature. The GOP, Bush is doing a campaign against the immigration bill that we need to call these people.
Let me tell people what you're talking about. In the state of Florida, the Republicans that run the state, are Bush Republicans, and they're trying to stop the deportations in this country. And they got some bill to obstruct ICE, and Tom Homan, and DeSantis is standing up for Trump on this.
And the governor.
Mm-hmm.
They are voting against the bill that DeSantis, is supporting, which is going after the illegals that are enrolled in colleges, but they're illegal. They're illegal. They shouldn't be. They are opposing that, and they're also opposing going into the schools. And I don't agree with that. I think that the governor should have, his say.
Well, listen, I gotta run, but you make a good point. DeSantis is doing the right thing here, So, all right, appreciate the call, and he most certainly is. If you're on. Well, let's see here. Let's take one more call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hold on. Let me turn you off.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Well, this will be worth it. This has got to be good. All this winning.
Yeah.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jay from Jersey.
Hey, Jay. All this winning going on. It's very exciting.
Oh, I'm glad you seem to be happy about it. I'm glad to watch a little bit of it, too. It's been very exciting to see all the craziness. all the craziness back on TV all over again. You know what the best part that I've been laughing at?
What?
I like the fact that some of them are Trump supporters and MAGA, and they voted for him, and now they're getting fired.
Who voted for Trump that's getting fired?
Yeah, I love it a lot.
Who voted for Trump that Trump's firing? Who?
They've been all on. I don't know these people's names, but don't be stupid now. Don't be stupid.
No, I mean, like.
Do you know the people that he's fired? Do you know the people's names that he's firing?
The people that have been fired are.
Do you know their names?
I know where they're from.
Do you know their names? Like you just asked me.
I know that they're part of the bureaucracy, like FBI people, USAID people.
I'm not just talking about from the FBI. I'm talking about all the ones that's been on TV. I voted for him. Look at this. I'm losing my job. I've been supporting
I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen any of that.
Oh, then you need to look a little closer.
Where do I have to look? Where do I watch for that? Rachel Maddow?
Listen.
Where do I know? Where did you see that on TV?
I've seen it on NBC.
I missed that. MAGA voters were fired by Trump? That doesn't even make sense.
Do you know a lot of people he's been messing with? And you know what?
What?
A lot of them supported and voted for him.
Why are you whispering?
That's what they get.
Why are you whispering?
That's what they get.
Why are you whispering?
Because I'm actually home today.
Oh, you're home? Who's home that would hear you?
Yes.
Mommy?
It doesn't matter who's
Mommy?
home. I don't need them to hear everything
Mommy?
I'm saying. I don't live with my mama. Do you live with your mama?
Oh, no, I don't. But I'm not whispering. Why are you whispering in your own home?
I didn't even realize I was whispering. Do you think you want me to talk loud?
No, I said, why are you whispering? And you said, because you're home. Why are you whispering in your own home?
I wasn't yelling. I guess that was a sarcastic way of talking. Is
Okay.
that okay with you?
That's fine.
I
was just curious.
I love to hear. I'll talk louder since you want me to yell. I love to see all the Trump supporters who are getting fired.
Are you hallucinating? Are you on mushrooms or something? You're hallucinating.
No, you're hallucinating. If you honestly believe that all the things he's doing aren't touching Trump supporters.
Okay.
That's what they
All right, listen. I gotta run for a break, but I appreciate the call. You know, Steve Kane has a line for a guy like that. He's like, this is Steve's line. I won't take it, but Steve would say, "I gotta run. I'm due back on the planet Earth." Right? If with a caller like that. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. So Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I know. I'll tell you when we get back. We'll be on in 2 minutes. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's all good stuff. All right. Oh, man. Jay from Jersey. What is he talking about? The Trump people that are being fired? He's out of his mind. I missed that one. You guys see that story? What is he talking about? Trump's firing Trump people? We got about 30 seconds. We'll be back. Got a little... Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And Steve Kane, who I was just quoting, is joining us. Hey, Steve. Steve, we are back. Are you back with us, Steve? I can hear Steve.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We're back, Steve. All right. So, all kinds of... are you back with us now? Oh, well, let me put Steve on hold, and then we'll try him again. All right, Steve, are you back with us?
Hello?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
All right, I got you.
Okay, Earth to Steve, Earth to Brian. Okay.
Do back on the planet Earth. I love that.
Oh my
line.
goodness, I wanted to say it to him, but I didn't want to. That's a good line because I mean he was hallucinating. All these.
Feel free to use it anytime.
A lot's going on. I want to do some recapping from the first hour because some of the most historic news and history has happened since we last spoke. But I want to go through the timeline of events from yesterday. And there's so many things happened, so this may be incomplete. So if I leave something out, feel free to add, and you out there in the listening audience. But yesterday morning... around 11:30, I was out at Publix getting a Publix sub for lunch, right? So that was it's about sometime between 11 and 11:30 a.m. here on the East Coast, and I get a notification on my cell phone. President Trump posted to Truth Social that Mexico surrendered in the trade wars. That the president of Mexico, she called him and she completely caved on everything and gave him a bunch of things that I was not expecting. And that was incredibly significant. And by the time I got that news, that was 11:30 in the morning, East Coast time. Mexico City, the capital of Mexico, I believe is on Mountain Time. Okay, they might be on Central Time, but they're either on Mountain or Central, but I'm pretty sure they're on Mountain Time. So it's like 9 o'clock in the morning in Mexico City. Now, before I went to Publix for that sub, okay, which is, you ever had Publix sub, Steve?
No.
You've never had a Publix sub?
Never had a Publix sub. Am I missing something?
Oh my goodness. You're the only man in Florida who hasn't. Yeah, you should check it out. Yeah, but anyway, that's about 9 o'clock in the morning in Mexico City. So that before I left, I'm watching the news and I'm watching CNN and MSNBC, and they're having a pep rally because the Dow Jones is going down. And they're very excited on CNN and MSNBC. The Dow Jones is falling. They're giving high fives to each other. They're trying to contain their excitement, but they're excited because the trade war with Mexico and Canada is causing the Dow Jones to tank. So they're loving it on CNN. And then at 11:30 in the morning, Canada surrendered in the trade war to President Trump. And the time zone is significant, because it was like 9 a.m. in the Mexican capital. That means as soon as the president of Mexico got to work and her staff got to work, First thing in the morning, they called up President Trump and surrendered in the trade war. First thing they did. They didn't even last an hour of the work week. I mean, that is historic. And you had all these idiot Democrats on TV yesterday morning. Did you see Schumer with the Corona and the avocado? Okay, so
I love it. Yeah.
he gets all these.
He's like in La La Land.
He's like Jay from Jersey, right before the top of the hour. You know,
right.
He's standing up there with, you see this can? It's going to cost more money. He's got the Corona.
The avocados in the soup.
And the avocado in the other hand. Oh, and your avocados, and then first, as soon as she gets into whatever their version of the White House is in Mexico City, she calls Trump and surrenders. That was amazing. It was beautiful. It was spectacular. And this is just since we got off the air. Then U.S. aid, because now U.S. aid got shut down while we were on the air yesterday. We were talking about it. But then, in the middle of the day, the Democrats are in a panic. Jamie Raskin, Ilhan Omar, and some of the usual suspects lead a group of USA employees and try to break into the USAID office. Did you see that? Oh, this was great.
No, that I missed.
Yeah, and by CNN, MSNBC, in the Democrats' definition, they were leading an insurrection because they were trying to not only break into a federal building when they were told they weren't allowed in, they were interrupting the government business inside the building, but they were trying to break in, and they were in a panic because their money got cut off because they shut down USAID. So that was beautiful. I mean, that was like seeing pulling the curtain in the end of the Wizard of Oz, because what we found out is that USAID is how they do all their dirty deals through the USAID. And so they and their families and their friends and their donors, the checks aren't coming. They're shut down. So so that's victory number 2. But then even though Mexico surrendered, MSNBC, the Democrats, all CNN, they're holding. They still got hope. They still got hope. Canada, Trudeau, he'll stand up against Trump, and then Trump has a phone conversation with him at 3 p.m, and then the next thing I know, Canada surrenders. So now both in the trade war, it's over. It was over before 5 p.m. The whole trade war. It was the shortest war in history. And both Canada and Mexico are sending their armies to their borders to stop the illegals and the drugs. Canada is appointing their first ever drug czar to stop the drugs coming into the country. There's no tariff increases. It's all been called off, and it's over. And you think, oh well, that's an exciting day. So then. It's late in the afternoon. Marco Rubio comes out on television with the president of El Salvador. And the president of El Salvador agrees with President Trump, comes up with a historic agreement with President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. El Salvador, which has the worst, most frightening prisons in the world today. Okay, the president of El Salvador has agreed that he will take into his country the illegal migrants of any nationality in the world. We can deposit them in El Salvador if we can't get them back to their home country. And he'll take all the Venezuelan gang members in his prisons. He will take.
I love that one.
He'll take all the MS-13s and any illegals that we're holding in U.S. prisons. He'll take those and put them in his prisons too. So I mean, and that was just yesterday.
Well, this is what he meant when he talked about when you get tired of winning.
I mean,
you tired yet?
No. I mean, no. I'm trying. There's so much going on. We can't even savor these wins, right? Because as soon as we start to, savor a win, he does something else, and that was just yesterday, before dinner time. And it's amazing what's going on here. And there's
it's amazing.
Yeah. There and Jay from Jersey in the last hour, you could hear the Democrats are numb.
Did you watch any television yesterday?
I saw a little bit of Hannity, but that was it.
Did you see any of the films coming out of there was evidently a Democratic meeting. They were trying to organize the poor Democrats.
Oh, the DNC? Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Oh, they did.
Unbelievable. They were trying to figure out what the sexual preferences were on all the people they were electing, because they had to have a balance of sexuality, you know.
Yeah. Well,
it was unbelievable.
Well, that was a disaster, okay? The DNC, okay? So the head of the DNC is some guy I've never heard of. His name's Ken.
Yeah.
And I saw McEnany was on Fox talking about this guy, Kayleigh McEnany, and she said she's never heard of him. She says, I know everybody in Washington. I've never heard of this guy. And he's the head of the DNC. And they made the vice chair David Hogg, from Marjorie Stoneman
Oh, I remember him.
Douglas, who's an idiot. And
nutcase.
Yeah, total nutcase. And what that tells me, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. No one prominent wanted the job to run the DNC. Usually the DNC, it's like the RNC, right? That's where all the money is controlled from. Right, so usually
they're totally at odds. They're totally out of it.
Well,
it's like there's no organization left.
Yeah, usually the person that runs the DNC is a big time person. Terry McAuliffe, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, people that are prominent that have a lot of connections with the donors.
Mitch Caesar.
Yeah, and now they've got rejects and never-beens that no one's heard of. They could not find a serious Democrat that had the DNC. It's the Titanic. Nobody wants it. Which is historic.
And they've learned nothing. The bottom line is they've learned nothing from the last election.
Oh.
They're going back and repeating all the same old themes that got them destroyed in this election. They're going to do a rerun next election.
And David Hogg is a camera hog, and he's going to become the face and the voice of the DNC. And that's we couldn't have picked a better person to be the voice of the DNC. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the third hour. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. All right?
Sure.
And then we'll take a break. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take a break and be right back. Steve Kane Show. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. A little rough there during the break. It's the Steve Kane Show. It is time. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, when it comes to making important decisions in our lives, we really need to have the information to be able to make those important decisions. And when it comes to what we do as a law firm, estate planning, elder law, probate, it's one of those things that most people don't know a lot about. And if you don't know a lot about it, then how do you make the decision of what you should do, how you should proceed, who to go to, all of those things. So really the answer to that issue is education.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we try to do for people at the Siegel Law Group. We try to give them education so they can make the best possible decision for their family, so they can make sure that they leave the legacy in the correct way, make sure they protect their assets during their lifetime, and have that peace of mind. And so we deliver that in a couple of different ways. One, we do our seminars that we do a couple a month in Boca Raton, a couple a month in Naples, and now this month we're going to have one in West Palm Beach. So we're going to start doing them in West Palm Beach as well. And then, of course, if people can't make it to the seminar, they can still get the education during a free consultation that we offer. So they have the opportunity to learn what they need to learn and how it applies to their specific situation, to their goals, their wishes, their dreams, their family, their estate, and all that, so that they can have an estate plan that works when they need it to work, and that's what we do.
Yeah, and the workshops, I think the workshops are important for a couple reasons. Okay, one, well, on top of what you said of getting the information, you get to see how detailed your planning is, and how it's, like I told you the other day, it's not cookie cutter, how it's specific to you and how many scenarios. But you're there with your team from the Siegel Law Group, and you get to, when you go to one of the workshops that Barry Siegel has, you get to meet Attorney Barry Siegel and his staff, and you get to see and get to meet them. And I think there's a lot of benefit in that too, because these are important decisions, and you want to know the people that you're leaving these decisions up to, and I think you'll be very, very impressed. The Siegel Law Group, now remember, it's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. Also, the workshops are always no charge. So I'm going to give you the number. Give them a call, toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, I'm going to text you off the air later today about something, but just so keep an eye out for it. Okay. All right, great. Take care. We will talk later in the week. All right, we are back. All right, let me get Steve Kane. You back with us?
Yes, I am.
Oh, man, all this winning. You're going to see a lot of video of these prisons in El Salvador that Trump and Rubio made the deal with yesterday. I've been seeing clips of this all over the internet since last night. There was some type of documentary or a news report done on the El Salvador prisons.
Yeah.
Steve, you would rather be in a prison you would rather be in a Taliban prison than the El Salvador prison. You know what it's like? I used this with a caller in the last hour. You'll get this because you're in the movies. Remember Midnight Express, the Turkish prison?
Oh, yes.
That's the prison in El Salvador. That's what the prisons are like in El Salvador. It's a gulag. And the significance of that is these gang members are afraid of the prisons in El Salvador. The Venezuelan gang members at MS-13, even they're afraid of them. So it's not just a great place to send these monsters, it's a deterrent because they're afraid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It's truly punishment.
Yes. All right. Now let me see here. All right. I'm gonna take some of these calls, Steve. Okay. So if I lose you, I'll call you back during the break. Hold on. Wait a second. All right, Steve. I'm gonna take some of these calls. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free 1-888-465-2631. We have covered a lot. And I haven't even gotten to everything yet, but those were some of the big ones from yesterday. All right, let's go to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on.
My name is Karen Hornell.
Yes, first names only. Yes, Karen.
And I'm calling from Missouri.
Okay.
And I just want to clarify what that crazy man was talking about.
Which one?
About the one that you should have turned around and said, okay, I need to get back to planet Earth.
Oh, yes. Jay from Jersey. Yes.
Yes. Well, what he was talking about most likely was when Trump cut funds on the Inclusion Act most people who were hired through the Inclusion Act were being trained for the position. They didn't really have the qualifications for the position. So yes, they got fired. Yes, some of them were Trump supporters. Yes, some of them weren't Trump supporters. Where he got his information, I ain't got a clue. Okay?
Probably Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, someone like that.
Oh,
yeah.
As well as I don't listen to hearsay, and I did put in on your speak thing that if there is any way you can get me information of where to look it up, I downloaded everything. Project 2025, which was written primarily by Russell, which Trump should take a step back from him because him and Elon are trying to take his presidency.
All right. Well, hey, listen. I appreciate. Wait a second. Wait. Slow down. No, you said something. I was just ready to let you go, but you said something. I think you may have misspoke. You said Elon Musk is trying to take Trump's presidency. Tell me about that.
No, what it is he's not trying to take it. He's trying to control him. He is trying to get into the purse strings.
Give me an example of him doing that. Give me an example of him doing that.
He's got people that he hired and brought in from his own companies, tech people.
Yes.
And when he was told he couldn't go into these places, even Trump told him, no, you can't. I've got this. Elon has been trying to get in a back door.
No, in fact, I know what you're talking about. There's an article in the Daily Mail today. I haven't gotten to it, but it's a group of the people that Elon Musk has from working for Doge, and there's a handful of tech geniuses. They're all in their early 20s. There's some of them haven't even been to college. And they're the forensic people that are going through all the payments at the Treasury Department and U.S. aid. Yeah, I don't know what your beef is with them.
They're trying to get into all of it.
Yes.
They're trying to get into all of it.
Well, we want to know where the money's going. We want to know who's getting the money.
That's the basis of our economic problems in this country.
That's what we want.
I would rather Trump handle it.
Well, he's president. He's not a forensic accountant. Elon's not even handling it. He's delegated it to this team of geniuses. They're a team of geniuses.
He hired forensic people.
He sends rockets into space. Okay, so he's got geniuses who work for him.
Not yet. He's building them to go into space.
No, I saw one of his when I left my house.
One of them went.
I saw one. I saw one of Elon's rockets launched this morning before I went on the air.
Ooh.
He sent like 100 rockets into space. That. They take off all the time, every day.
You're close to there?
I'm in Florida. You can see them. You can see them.
Nice. Can you?
You didn't know that Elon Musk has sent rockets into space?
All I know is he had been trying to.
No, he's been doing it for years. He's sent people into space. He's been doing it for.
Can you send me a link or give me a link so I can
give you a link? Just Google SpaceX. Google SpaceX. SpaceX.
Okay, I don't like Google because it comes up with some weird shit.
Oh my God! All right, okay, all right, Mike, you got to get that one. I hope you got that one. All right, so let me. Oh my goodness. She well, how much can she know? She doesn't know that Elon Musk has sent people up into space. I think she's been up on a rocket. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be right back. Hey, I lost you when we hit the dump button. Yeah, she said the S word on it. We hit the dump button. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to put you... This is the bottom of the hour break, so we got some time here. We'll be back in 4 minutes. All right, hold on. I think, you guys can let me think. I think that lady was a seminar caller. What do you guys think? She doesn't know that Elon Musk has sent rockets into space? What kind of person is that? How could you not know that? Right? He's been doing it for years. I was surprised. That's one I'd not expected to hear. She's like, really? He did it? Oh, man. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. All right? If you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video and sharing on your socials, if you don't mind. We'll be back in about a minute. Yeah, you sent people to the space station. I know. Strange people. We're hearing from strange people today. Well, that's because we're winning so much. So the never Trumpers and the Democrats are just having meltdowns. You know, that's it. 30 seconds. Here we go. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve, you back with us? I'll try one more time. Let me try Steve one more time, then I'm going to go to the calls. You're on the... Okay, we're back.
There you are.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so if you're on hold, hang in there. You know, this morning before this was amazing. So I'm watching, Steve, this news footage from yesterday of Jamie Raskin trying to bust his way into the U.S. aid office and get his money, talking to the press, trashing Elon Musk. And this is crazy. This is 100% true story, okay? This was crazy.
I love it.
So I'm watching these Democrats talk about what an idiot they think Elon is. Then I saw a clip. Caroline Leavitt, Trump's White House spokesperson, had a press conference yesterday, and one of the idiots in the press asked if Elon Musk has a security clearance. Because they're like, he's got access to all the USA. This is all classified. And of course he has, because he's NASA now, right? He's got the SpaceX, the rockets.
Right.
And I'm watching this. I get in my car. I leave my house. I pull out of my development. And there's these two cars that I see every day at the same time. They leave at the same time, going to work. And they're pulled over on the road outside my development. And I thought they got into a car accident or somebody hit a dog. And I slowed down, I'm like, what's going on? And I saw one of Elon Musk's rockets going up into space this morning. It's about 5 a.m. or so, between, about 5:15 this morning. And it was beautiful. And it was going, instead of going north and just out over the ocean, it went southeast, and it was almost due east of me here. And I'm thinking, I'm listening to these people in the news debating whether or not Elon Musk has a security clearance. Elon Musk and his people have the highest security clearance there is because they launch rockets into space. If Elon was this evil person and they didn't do, he could launch a rocket anywhere. It doesn't have to go to the space station. It doesn't have to go into space. It could go to Nebraska. It could go to LA. You know what I mean? He's been through every security background check there is. These liberals, like that lady, by the way, who was, I believe, a seminar caller, they're brain dead right now. They're in shock at all this winning, that
describes it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, and they really are. I don't know how their bodily functions are functioning because they're brain dead right now. It's like they're in comas. They're walking around and everything, but they're in a coma. All right, you want to take some...
They realize the party's over.
Oh, yeah. All right, you want to take some more calls?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's go. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Oh, hey, Renee. You must be excited. All this winning.
What's up?
Yeah, listen, you and apartheid Musk are up to your old tricks, and I'm here to tell you I'm giving a shout-out because it's Black History Month, and I'd like to give a shout-out to the rebels that faced this country's apartheid, and I'd like to give a tribute to Nat Turner, who you savages cut up his body and ate, from what I understand.
Volume 8?
I hope that makes you happy.
What's Volume 8?
What?
What is Volume 8 that you referred to?
I didn't refer to
We didn't
Volume
understand
8.
what you said.
You didn't listen to what I said.
No, you
That's
cut
what
out.
you
You
were
cut out.
apparent.
You cut out. Say it again. What were you talking? You wanted
Well,
to pay
you
tribute?
cut me out.
No, I didn't.
I was giving a tribute to Nat Turner.
Okay.
You revolutionary black person who oppressed, who faced the oppression in this racist country, and you people cut up his body and ate him, from what I understand.
No.
We ate him? You're not doing yourself today.
Yeah.
You must really be in shock.
Oh, you didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that, did you?
You think Steve and I are cannibals?
Yeah.
Steve
And
and I,
another thing, by the
Steve
way,
and I
by
eat.
the way,
We don't
speaking
eat
of
people.
which- Yes, you do.
Listen, on a serious note,
You are savages.
Okay.
You eat people.
I agree with you that in Black History Month we should honor people. Tell the audience about Nate Turner, whichever you want to call him, who he was and what he did.
What's his name, stupid?
Nat Turner.
What?
Nat Turner.
No, not Matt, dummy. It's Nat.
I said Nat.
You are really that stupid, aren't you?
Nat, did I say?
Oh, no.
Tell the audience about Nat Turner, who he was and why he should be remembered.
He killed you people. That was his best effort.
You don't even know.
He killed a lot of you.
You don't even know.
Yes, I do know.
Then tell the audience. Who was he? What did he do?
He led a slave revolt and he killed about 100 of them. And he got away.
He led a slave revolt. It might have been in Virginia. I can't remember where. I don't know if you know, Steve. But Nat Turner, he led a slave revolt and he killed 50 to 100 white people.
Yep.
And it was sadly unsuccessful.
That's the reason why
But you know what? The rebellion was really against a particular group of white people.
Oh, my Lord.
Democrats.
You know, you like to harp on that Democrat-Republican
Well, the
thing.
Democrats were the ones holding him in bondage, and the white people he killed were Democrats.
They were all white. The
Yeah, Democrats.
were Dixiecrat.
Democrats.
And you people switched over to Republican with the Southern Compromise. You think we don't know?
The only
Come
thing.
on, man. We're not as stupid as you are.
Yeah. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you think the
That's why
Republicans?
you've been going after the 1965 Civil Rights Bill ever since.
See what I mean, Steve? They're insane. They've lost their minds. The Democrats have lost their minds.
Yeah, right. You never had a mind.
Did you watch any of that meeting of the Democratic Party yesterday on television?
Oh, that was great.
What did you think of that? You with
What
us?
should I think of it? What should I think of it? What do you?
It's your mind.
You're asking a question. I don't know. What are you telling me?
Oh my goodness. This is.
my
I'm
goodness.
not telling you. I'm asking you a question.
What's the question? It's a dumb question.
Why are you so angry?
This is like
Because you
playing
people are
handball
racist.
over
That's
wet
why.
mattress.
Why you ask a redundant question?
I feel.
You people are racist, and I know it.
You know.
You don't think I know?
Get this creep has nothing to say.
All right, I agree with that.
NTS, get off the phone, you jerk.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
You
goodness.
can only listen to so much of that crap before you.
So Renee is now defending the people that killed Nat Turner.
I guess so.
I guess he's.
The only Nat Turner I know, I think he used to play for the Washington Senators back in the 50s. But
No, this isn't the same one. Did they eat him too?
it's a different Matt Turner.
Oh my, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't understand. I don't understand. And if you look at President Trump, you know, here's the head of the FBI. He's not white. Marco Rubio's Hispanic. Very diverse group of people. Now they only make up 2 genders. We don't have any 3rd, 4th, or 12th genders of any of our Trump people. But there's a lot of ethnic and gender diversity. We got women, right? You know, so I don't know.
Where do we have women?
Yeah, I know. Just there, I was watching on. I can't remember if it was MSNBC or CNN. They were having a fit over Christy Nome, the Homeland Security Secretary, and the cowboy hat. Did you see any of this?
Oh, bad.
You know, she wears a cowgirl hat because she's a girl. And,
yes.
You know, she grew up on a farm, you know. Remember the story about when she shot the puppy? You know, she grew up on a farm.
It almost cost her a job.
Yeah, I know. And, you know, and they're really just, the reason they're ticked off about the cowboy hat with Christy Nome is because she's hot. They couldn't say it. She looks sexy with the hat on and the jeans and the cowboy clothes with the vest on.
But when you look at all the GOP women, they're all
most of them
very, very attractive.
Yeah, I mean,
almost without exception. The press sec Carolyn Levitt.
Yeah, you know what I feel like? I feel like this must be what the Democrats felt like when Obama won in 2008. I mean, you know, they were having a party and we were not feeling too good. But you look at the things that President Trump has done, and it's been 2 weeks today since he was inaugurated, and I can't think of anything he's done that's bad for the American people. Nothing. You know, they were trying to.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they were trying to terrify everyone about the tariffs, and that's off now because Canada and Mexico surrendered yesterday. So that's not even on the table anymore. You know what? Though, I would like to tell people about the free doorbell camera offer from Slomin's. My daughter's got the doorbell camera out in L.A. The doorbell camera is a great gift for your kids, your adult kids. And it's also, if you've got elderly parents, it's a great gift for mom, dad, or grandma and grandpa too, okay? And yourself and your own family and your own home. But Slomin's, they'll give you a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Slomin Shield. They'll also give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. Slomin's is going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for the doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin Shield. Give them a call. This is a very easy number to remember. 1-800-ALARM-ME. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back right after this. Hey there, hold on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, and it's time for the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. As always, we check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. I got some good news based on the smile in your voice when I called you up, William Youngerman. How the metals looking this morning?
We are in one of the biggest bull markets I've seen in my lifetime, practically.
Really?
And it doesn't seem to have any end in sight at this point. We saw gold again trading in a range yesterday of $2,811 to $2,817, closing out the day up $16 at $2,815.20. Silver gained 30 cents, closing out the day at $31.57, while platinum was up $17 at $9.62. And palladium lost $3 at $9.96. Overnight, we've seen gold trading in a range on the low of 2805. 2800 seems to be a real support area for gold now, and the high of $2,841 the ounce. Right now, gold's at $2,338.20. That's up $23. Silver up 33 cents at $31.90 the ounce. Platinum up $8 at $970. And palladium down $30 at $9.66. So the metals are soaring, and like I said, there's no particular end in sight. Our new target for this year, we believe, might fall in the $3,200 range for gold.
Get out of town. That's amazing.
You remember, Brian, when you first started with us, when gold was $400 an ounce.
400. I walked out of your. I tell this story all the time. I guess I like to make myself look stupid, but we walked out of your shop first time I met you. Steve says, "Brian, go back in there and buy some gold." I said, "Steve, gold's been around for 5,000 years. It's $435 an ounce. How much higher can it go?" I mean, that's amazing. And you're not one of those guys that makes these bold predictions. Okay, this to the moon stuff. So when you make predictions like that, it's a serious analysis of the situation. Let me ask you, with the prices like they are with gold and silver, are you finding a lot of people coming in that have like old jewelry and things and are turning it into cash or coins?
Yes, we are. We're still seeing a lot of people divesting themselves of jewelry that they don't wear anymore. That's just sitting around waiting to disappear, or broken jewelry that they don't think is worth anything. They bring it in and they're absolutely startled. We had a woman come in the other day, and when I told her how much she was going to get for her outdated broken jewelry, she almost fainted. I mean, they're just, she says, I can't believe how much, and it wasn't that much. It was just a little handful of gold jewelry and chains. And so it's amazing how much you'll get for stuff that's just laying around, gathering dust.
And by the way,
turn it into something real.
That's broken jewelry. It's old, god-awful, out-of-date, ugly jewelry. It doesn't matter. And some of the old watches we buy, Rolexes, Patek Philippe's, people are blown away when we tell them how much we'll pay for them. They're very collectible now, and so we're finding a lot of people that are going back into the safety deposit boxes and pulling things out that've been there since Grandpa died. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, listen, William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m., and you can stop in. It's free appraisals, of course, for Steve Kane listeners. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Give him a call, and you can do your transactions over the phone and through the mail no matter where you're located in the world, okay? 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, we are back, and man, oh man, Steve, William Youngerman is throwing a party over there at William Youngerman's with these prices. Oh, boy. All right, we are back. Are you back with us, Steve? Let me try that one. Hold on. I got all my lines crossed. All right, we'll try Steve again. Hold on. All right, Steve, you back with us? All right, I don't have Steve, but I got a full board, so we're going to keep on trucking. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Stephen Bryan. Good morning. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ, what's up?
Well, I was, listening to Elon yesterday talk about the apple. If it has just one worm, you can pull it out, and this USAID is basically a big thing of worms. And the more I, watched all this coverage and looked at all these things, I mean, I'd like to say it doesn't surprise me. I know our country and these people is corrupt as hell, but I mean, I see razor blades all over the place in this apple. It's like a multi-purpose production company for engineered reality, for propaganda and psyops and soft coups.
Well, my guess would be, I was talking about this with a caller earlier in the show. All right, yeah. This list of things we're seeing as an example, one that stood out of my mind was a bunch of money for Drag Queen Story Hour in Peru. And there's a lot of this See, I don't think they're paying for that stuff. I think that's just what they write down on the books. And, I mean, how are you going to find out if they're paying for a Drag Queen Story Hour in some village in Serbia, right? So
this is one of the things I think about that, Brian, is I think that, that's a good point. And that's something I kind of think like that's obviously a possibility. But I also think these guys are experienced criminals. And you look at the Biden family with the 20 shell companies, and you never steal like directly from the bank because it's too easy to track. I really think they do send this stuff out all over the place. Somehow they pay for that crap. They pay for these things in these foreign countries. It's easier for them to
5%. If they do, it's a small percentage. But how are you going to track down Drag Queen Story Hour in some village in Peru?
Well, no, that's why they do it. You can't track all that stuff down. What I'm saying is I believe they really do send, the bottom line is it's all damn corrupt. I mean, it's like a psyop factory. And, of course, they got they used it. I saw a guy, I can't think of his name, real experienced guy in government, talking about Ukraine. and the U.S. AID play in that, sort of like they pay all these people, they get them into groups, and then they get the names and the email lists and the all the different addresses.
It's a money laundering operation.
Slowly manipulate them.
Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Thanks, I do appreciate. Great, we've had great calls there. All right, let me see. I got Steve X. Steve, you back with us? No, I guess not. I tried again. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. That was pretty quick. Tom from Florida. I was just curious. All these great things. When is the price of anything going to go down?
I've already noticed the gasoline's cheaper.
The gasoline's cheaper? Okay. Eggs and anything else?
Well,
right?
there's
everything's going to go up.
There's a bird flu epidemic that killed a bunch of chickens, so there's a shortage.
I believe that everybody just
excuse me. You asked me when things are going to start to go down. I tell you gasoline's gone down, and then you act like I didn't even say it.
That's one thing, Brian.
That's one thing. Well, that's the driver of everything.
Okay, and the driver of every nail is going to be this. It is the future. Everybody better get in touch with their feelings, and everybody better be happy because everything is going to stay exactly where it is. There's no prices going down. Everything is going to stay just where it is. The only thing you see might go down is probably eggs. That's about it, pal.
Okay.
So,
well,
you got to do it.
I know one thing. I know one thing we have. I know one thing we got a lot of an abundance of, and that's Fruit Loops. You, the last call. Some of you liberals are just nuts.
Oh, how am I nuts? Okay, I'm just.
You're all this winning going on, and you're just incoherent.
All this winning, the stock market dropped $1 trillion last week.
Okay.
We got.
No, it was up. Yeah, it was up yesterday.
I'll look at the positive side of things.
Yeah, the positive side is the call's over. All right, let me try again. All right, Steve, you back with us? All right, I'm not hearing Steve. He says he can hear me, but I can't hear him. I'll give you one more time. You back with us, Steve? All right, I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's try here. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you? Brian, I did see that documentary on the El Salvadorian prison system. Very worthwhile. After the show, very worthwhile to pull it up and watch it. That's a place you do not want to go. You do not want to go. It was built, I think, basically to house all of the MS-13 gangs that was in El Salvador, and I think it's like maybe 30,000 of them housed there. You cannot get away with anything there. Everything is monitored. Everything is high tech. There's no place to hide. I think the lights are on in that system 24 hours a day. It's almost like I don't want to say torture in that, but it's a system. I think you'd rather go to Guantanamo than go to that El Salvadorian prison system. It is really something to see. And I did see some crowded, jail cells and that. You got prisoners duck walking from. Like if you're going to lunch and stuff, you're duck walking along the lines there and that. It's something to see, and it's maximum, really super maximum security. I don't think anybody's ever gotten
I was talking about earlier, you guys are going to see this because it's going to be all over television. It's all over X. There was this. I don't know if it was a documentary or a news story that was done on those prisons in El Salvador, and they are frightening. They're the and the thing about it is the biggest deterrent to crime in America is regular people like you and me. We don't want to go to jail. Right. We're scared to go to jail. The fear of what happens to people in jail is the biggest deterrent to crime. If jail was a vacation, people, I'll do that. I'll do a stretch, but it's not. It's scary and dangerous. These violent.
You see the look on the prisoners' faces. There's some scare there. They're hardcore guys. You see some fear on their faces there.
Yes, and these are the guys with the tattoos on their faces and their heads and everything else.
Oh yeah. The shaved heads, the tattoos, the MS-13 tough ones. This prison system is really something to see. I tell you, you watch that documentary, you really appreciate your freedom to just go out and go for a walk. Yeah. There's no freedom there. You're in there, and you're doing time there.
Yeah.
One other quick point. I saw that thing on the DNC. If you want to see a political party in demise and dissent, it was a disgrace. 14, 15 people up there, they look like a bunch of clowns, and then they're doing the conga dance at the end there and stuff. It's a party that's in shatters. It's
well,
totally
it's what I was telling Steve earlier. When I never heard of this guy that's the new head, Ken something, and Kayleigh McEnany said she's never heard of him either, and she knows everybody. And you look.
I haven't heard if anybody knows him.
Yeah, no, I've never.
I don't know where they got him from.
Well, then David Hogg is the vice. So what McEnany's take was, and I agree with her, no one credible wants the job. And usually the people that run the DNC, like the RNC, are big shots because there's a lot of power and money with that. And there's not. The Democrats don't have a credible, I know it's hard to say credible Democrat, but they don't have, usually it's people like Terry McAuliffe was the leader for a long time. Debbie Wasserman Shields. People like Donna Brazile usually are the head of the DNC, and they don't have any credible person. No, there's no credible person that wants to captain the Titanic.
So how does that party turn around if they can't even get somebody who wants the job to be the head?
It helps us in the midterms because they have no leaders or organization. So, historically you lose in the midterms, right? That may not be the case this time because they're in such confusion.
I don't think so, yeah. And I'm hearing big Democrats saying we're in shambles now who would never have said it on the air and that. It was a disgrace.
Hey, listen, I got to run, but I appreciate the call.
Okay,
Take care.
Brian.
Take care. We're out of time for today, but before we go, I want to tell you guys, Mike Lindell at MyPillow, with our promo code Kane at checkout, it is free shipping site-wide on all orders, no matter how large or small. Okay? Now, for the last few weeks, I've been telling you, free shipping on all orders over $75. That's not the case. It's free shipping on all orders, no matter how small, no matter how large. You could order a pair of the MyPillow socks with our promo code Kane, and it's free shipping site-wide, by the way. So this is the time to load up. Well, listen, we'll be back tomorrow. This is an exciting time. This is the last time the news was this exciting. And this is kind of a crazy comparison, but was during the O.J. Simpson murder trial. I call that the golden age of radio. It's kind of what we're in now. It's a new golden age of radio, and it's great stuff. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Thanks, everyone. Some beautiful calls today. Thank you for those. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take care. Have a great day. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. All right. Take care. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video. All right.